Hey, welcome back. You want to watch the Reality Guys? You want to watch the Reality Guys? I'm Brett. I'm here to host with Kevin for the Survivor episode. Danny, he's getting his torch snuffed. Thank you, Jeff. What do you think, Kevin? I have
I
never
thought it was
me.
I thought it was a good episode. It genuinely did me leave me questioning who was going to be eliminated all the way till the end. Up until whatever. I thought it was a sneaky one. It was good. Carolyn did well. I mean, like she did some champion worthy stuff, I think. And just like figuring things out. Although I have some more stuff we can talk about, but go on.
Okay. So yeah, based off my impression I just did, I don't know if anyone who just watched the episode, but Danny, with a little music I'm putting in too. Danny, we lost him finally tonight, our favorite of the season. He was my personal favorite. I just think he embodies, I guess, what I would bring to Survivor, maybe a little more chaotic and craziness with his De Niro impressions and such. But yeah, I didn't know we were going to lose this episode either. I was thinking with Heidi's backstory we got at some point that they might just vote out Heidi, even though you could tell that Carolyn hates Danny's guts and wanted him gone for so long, and played the idol and all that jazz. And we can go straight to that. So Carolyn misplayed her idol. So I think this was a big move by her, but it was unnecessary because, sorry, 3 votes on Danny, 2 on Heidi, 2 on Carson. So she didn't need to play her idol at all in this position because both the Ratu girls voted out Dan, or they voted Heidi, and then Soka, or not.
Yeah, she definitely. I mean, like end of the day, she didn't. But in my head, if I were her, I would have done it. Going into it, I thought it was Carson for sure, no doubt about it.
Yeah, if you're in that position,
And that also being said, there was some sort of um not like a one-on-one or background like situation with him, but he was getting a lot of airtime and it was like, oh dude, and I just learned how to do a bro handshake last week, like stuff like that.
shakes.
And in my head I was like, oh, this dude's going home. So it definitely, they did a good job, I guess, editing as well as just throwing everybody off in general. So I was happy, and at the end of the day, I mean, bro, you can't say like, oh, our favorite, blah blah blah, and then last week you were like, oh, I don't understand why nobody goes after Matthew or goes after anybody threatening. So like, they finally did it. I'm cool. I'm here for it.
What, you're saying what I said?
Mm-hmm. We were like, oh, he's the only threat. Like, why wouldn't you go
No,
after him when you
I
have a
literally
chance?
said this. I was like, Danny is cutting out his shields for the past 3 episodes.
Oh
And
yeah. You're
hit
right.
him on
You're
the
right. You're
butt.
right. You
And he's
did say
gone.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You did say that. You were saying, oh, you're right. You're right. I
writing
apologize.
is on the wall for Danny. You don't. I liked where he was coming out with the Carson thing, except he keeps trying to target the biggest threat. So it was him and Carson, and maybe Jam Jam are the biggest threats. But I mean,
Jam is not a threat.
Jam Jam and Carson are threats at
Why?
this.
Because he won like a breath holding contest. He's not a threat. End of the day,
Social.
if Danny was here, he was winning every single one of those things moving forward.
Danny didn't win a single immunity.
Or Carson.
Yeah, Danny, I don't think won a single immunity. So that was kind of.
I don't like. It's up in the air with all of them, but Jam is the last one I would ever think to win a
Yeah, the
immunity.
breath that came out of nowhere. I was surprised too. So when I was criticizing Danny and his moves for trying to get rid of like the big threats, I was like, well, the one way this could work for him is if he just wins every immunity until the end.
Yeah.
That didn't happen, but I could see maybe if that was his strategy, I'm gonna go for it.
Can we talk about this immunity real quick?
Yeah. Well, we can just go back from immunity to the top, whatever.
There is nothing more in this world that I would never want to do. That like I get anxiety watching them do this. Like it's I have such like claustrophobia when it comes to this type of thing, or
Like
what?
But Carson made a joke where he's like, "Oh, I tried this in my bathtub." I've tried it also before, and it's very hard. Just to try to lay down and not get water in your nose, just laying flat.
You tried this before in your bathtub?
I don't know if I was in my bathtub, but I've definitely tried it before. Like I've tried to like lay on my back and
Well, yeah, you can float
not
like
get
that,
water in your nose.
but then when you have some metal over your face that doesn't let you float up, that's a whole different story. Like it gives me such claustrophobia that like when I watch them, I'm like, I'm out. Fuck this. Fuck. Like I cannot do this. It scares the shit out of me. So I give them all credit for actually like
I would try to break the
doing it. And try to break the bars. Well, yeah, that would do it.
I'd be like,
Rebar.
I'm just gonna try to break
Super
the
malleable.
bars and hope no one notices,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then win by default or just lose. Yeah, I don't
Well, the
like.
last time they did this, they all outpowered the Tide, and the Tide went back down. I think they had two winners.
So in this episode, they had like a little meter where they were showing like how high it was going. I don't remember them doing that last time, but also most of the cast this time were quitting or falling out when they were still like hanging. They were basically like hanging onto the thing and had this much air. They had like this much air still, and they were like freaking out and falling.
Right. I mean, it's scary, dude. And not on top of that, the girl that made it, I think, last, she had like her knees and stuff in the like in the rebar, like twined, like intertwined in. So, God, like it was giving me such anxiety. Whereas, like, if you start to panic, now you're in the thing, and then next thing you know, your toe's stuck on another bar, and you're freaking out even more. I don't like this one. This scares the shit out of me.
Yourself trapped by like
Yeah, like I was like, I don't like what's happening right now. It gives me such anxiety. I don't know.
This would not be a challenge I could win. There's no way.
Mm-mm.
I don't think I could win most of these individual immunity challenges.
I could with the feet one. The ones where like you're standing on something small, and I could do that.
This is why I love Survivor so much and respect it, is because it's so hard. Is because the challenges themselves are difficult, the living environment's difficult, the social game's difficult. Like
I respect everything from probably 2 weeks ago moving forward. Anything before that, I think is just dumb. And even like I respect it. I guess even like yeah, like probably a week or two ago. Then this is where it starts to get good. This is where it's fun. This is what we like. This is where like shit like you can't be like, oh well, we just made it to a certain point, and now somebody that happened to be on my team that's good at puzzles is giving us immunity for the next week,
right,
or the next couple days. But
I mean, this is why like when bleeding into the challenge, which we just talked about. So go watch the challenge too. Is that you got people like Tori and Jordan forming these BS alliances over several seasons and crying about crap. Like Survivor's a way harder game to play than the stupid BS politics they play over there. But anyway, so at the beginning of this episode, so what did you think about like the whole situation with Heidi voted for Danny, and then Danny's trying to find out who voted for him. Yam Yam's telling he's telling us that he wanted Carolyn to vote wrong last time so that she could have that wiped off her resume, because apparently she's voted right every time. And then Carolyn, she tells Carson about her idol, which she played. And then you got,
dude, can we talk about Carolyn being so upset about the vote not going her way, and then literally screaming out saying, I would never do this to you. And Yam Yam going, you did it to me last week. And then she just goes, well, that was one time. That was one time. And it's like, you did. Like, this is your one time. Fucking deal with it, you psycho. You crazy woman. It was at the very beginning.
Okay.
And she flipped out. She was like, I would never do this to you. I have no idea. Like, all these votes are against me. And they're like, I mean, we had to do what's like best. I would never do that. You did it to us last week. And she was like, that was one time. It's like, oh, okay.
Carolyn is crazy, man. Like,
Dude, she's manic, but
she gets so much screen time too. Like, just thinking about it now, just every episode, it's literally the Carolyn show. She, no matter what, she's getting screen time. Is this because she's a crazy character, or is she gonna win this thing? Like, or is
I'm
she?
pretty sure it has a lot to do with every single like other person not having a personality.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I think you got several personality. I mean, Jam Jam, he's good. Carson's okay.
Jam
Danny,
Jam's not good. Like Carson,
think so.
they give him his time due as being a smart intern that was once part of NASA. And that's it. Like, it,
I mean, she made a big move this episode, finally using her idol. However, she did play it wrong. So I don't even know who's going to win this thing. It's got to be one of those three, though. Like at this point, there's no. I mean, who's left? Yeah, Heidi, Lauren, and Jamie. They ain't winning. So it's one of the other three. And they keep saying that they have a majority now. So the Tika is like, oh, we have a majority. It's still 3 versus 3.
that's what I thought too. I was like, those numbers don't make sense, but all right. Especially now without an idol.
Unless they're thinking like 3 versus 2 versus 1, which I mean, those girls are gonna team up. So I guess it's the point where like those girls are gonna team up. Which one of you wants to pull the girls in to take out one of your Tika members? Which is what they might be doing now that they're turning on Carolyn. Because in the preview for next episode, they talk about how big of a threat she is. Where before everyone thought she was like crazy.
I think Yam Yam is going next week.
I mean, I could see that. I mean, Yam Yam or the girls might still think that
Carolyn is going to stick around. She's going to stick around.
If I were those 3 girls, I would take out the 2 guys, then take out Carolyn, and that's how those 3
right.
girls.
That's how you should do it. Yeah, and I think Yam Yam's going to be next, so it'll be like, oh, you had this turbulence last week about this. Let's get her while she's still kind of hot about it. That's exactly what they're doing. Or I would hope that they would do. If I were them, that's what I would do.
Yeah, because I feel like all Jamie, Lauren, and Heidi all can basically think, oh, I'm better than those 2 girls. I'll just pitch over them, which is possible. So I think that would be the best move forward for all 3 of them. Will they do it? I don't know. But yeah, they definitely need to target the Tika at this point, no matter who it is. But the guys are probably the best bet to go. I would probably take out Carson first, if you get the chance. If you can't get Carson, take out Yam Yam.
I would take out Yam Yam. I would take out Yam Yam just for Carson. Carson's just he's so undeveloped as a person when it comes to like.
They all acknowledged he's a
Yam Yam will bite you in the end. Carson will feel bad for you in the end.
So I've heard around the Survivor circles that a lot of times they keep editing Carson with this with fire, and like you see reflections of fire with him. So people are saying they think he might be the one that goes into Final Fire, at Final 4.
God, people take artistic fucking bullshit way too far when it comes to. There's no way. I'm throwing it out there right now. There is no way.
They take it next guy to go, Jam Jam. Next person to go, one of the girls. Final 4, Carson versus Carolyn. Carolyn beats Carson in fire. Carolyn wins.
Sure. Sure. If you want, that's fine. That's bullshit though. Dude, if you think that some CBS show is putting in too much putting in that much like artistic fucking plot building and thought processes just for your little fucking Facebook group that you want to talk to with your Atlanta group friends, get the fuck out.
It's not where I heard it, but
Whatever.
Jeff Probst and that whole crew, they're very artistic. They will go for the artistic.
Bro, they are not going like, oh, I think we should get a shot with some flames and Carson's glasses in this 5 weeks out in case he has a
They already
fucking.
had the shot and they just used it.
Bro, get the fuck out of here. That's not what's happening. God, you fucking flat earther.
Damn. Did you know tonight was the last night to play Shot in the Dark?
I did not know that. They
That was,
didn't say
that
that.
was a fun fact they dropped in there. And
I didn't know that. That's weird.
no one cares. Because Shot in the Dark sucks. It means nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. They better remove that next time.
Did we talk about Carolyn freaking out at Tribal? I know we were talking about Carolyn a lot. She was like having a hissy fit at Tribal, and everyone was just staring at her.
Right. I mean, it was kind of the same thing that I was talking about. She's hitting a paranoid manic state. So she's getting herself into trouble. Crazy woman. Nah, she's cool. I like her. At this point, I want her to win. If I'm being completely honest.
I don't.
I do. Well, I nobody asked you. But I do. Strictly because let crazy be crazy. Keep Portland weird. Type of mentality. All right, who do you got?
I want Carson to win because go Atlanta.
Carson's done. Carson's so done. Carson pretended to be a NASA fucking employee as he's a student somewhere and had an internship there last year. He's lying. He's a liar.
That's true. He did kind of pump up the NASA thing, and he's like 20
Yeah.
years old in school.
Right. He was an intern one time.
But
Like,
whenever they had the
that could be like he was cleaning toilets.
Last week when they were talking about the drinking challenge, and it's like, wait, he's 20? I didn't realize he was that young. I thought he was like, I don't know. I just envisioned he like was getting his master's at NASA or something.
Dude, if you lived your entire life and gone to school, gone to any school, period, which he's proven that he has, and you have not learned how to like shake somebody's hand other than like the direct like, you are not socially inept to be a part or a winner of this game.
He said
What?
the bro shake. He said the bro shake.
All right. Okay. Exactly. It's such a right, dude. If you went your entire life up into that point at age 20, whatever, 20, and you have not, you're socially inept. You do not get the social game. You do not get social life in general. You're on the scale. We all are. I get it. But if you have never, you are not socially inept enough to win this game.
I mean,
tell me I'm wrong.
That's a fair point. I was gonna say I'm on that scale because I still suck at it. I'm still not a bro.
It's not a skill fucking thing, dude. It's still it's understanding that that's out there and like knowing enough people to come up to you and do it to you that you learn it. Then it's not like, bro, that means you're socially inept. Like if nobody wants to fucking talk to you.
It just means that you
it means that he hasn't
what happens.
He hasn't been presented it enough that he's given it a name. In my head, that's a fucking handshake. That's not a fucking bro, fucking whatever he called it. But two, if enough people aren't giving you this situation, you're not cool. You're not socially there in the situation.
It doesn't
mean
you
can be bad at it.
He just might be messing it up.
No, he literally said he learned it last week.
Okay, I guess I see your point.
And if you fuck it up, you fuck it up. But like, still over a certain number of times, you're going to learn how to do it correctly.
For me, I don't like touching people. So on Survivor, especially if people are like, oh, hey, let's high five and blah blah blah. I'm like, no, your hands are gross. I don't want to touch you. So that's my viewpoint on it. Which is why being on Survivor terrifies me.
I don't like touching people. Okay.
We only know each other through Zoom. We've never had.
I know. This is like hard for me to.
Go and I must buy